If you're anything like me 10 years ago, then you feel like you're drowning. You feel like everyone has wrapped you in chains and you have nowhere to go. Your time, your energy, your emotions, and even your finances have been completely controlled by someone else from the time that you were born until now. And it doesn't matter even what age you are. You could be in your 40s or you could be in your early 20s, but it feels like you have no control over your own life and you're not sure where to go. What's worse is I imagine that you have goals, right? You have a business that you want to start, you have places that you want to go, you have things you want to see, and no one is letting you do this because they just see you as a tool to control and to use for their own purposes. I'm going to show you in this video why the most beneficial thing you can do for your success is to go full monk mode, to disappear from everyone, to go ghost and cut all of those ties energetically, spiritually, financially, and emotionally, and reinvent yourself as someone who does stand alone.
You strike me as an Apostle John type, given your hermit nature.
Right now, the biggest problem in America, as I see it, is that everyone wants to be seen as the hero. The second that people get into an argument or conflict, they immediately whip out their phones because they're documenting for everyone else to see. Even when people talk about chat, hey, chat, is this real? Talking to an unknown, unseen audience. There's this performance aspect to life in general. And this has affected the way people are interacting with each other as well. Everyone feels like they have to be performing instead of actually just living their life for themselves. What this means is that anytime that you take anything for yourself, time for yourself, or spending money on yourself, or not necessarily being someone's emotional dish rag that they wipe off and toss away, then you're going to be made to feel like you're the bad guy. Or worse, you're going to be painted and portrayed like the bad guy to someone else. These energy vampires have a way of creeping into your life and wrapping themselves around you in a way that keeps you from progressing further.
I will allow you to live as long as you serve me. Betray me, and I will joyfully send you back to rotten hell.
What's worse is this crab bucket mentality where you're trying to escape the crab bucket and the crabs are pulling you back down with them. They are going to make you seem like the bad guy. I've seen this happen with family, with friends, with relationships. Jobs and coworkers can be this way, even classmates in school. There are actually 3 simple ways to correct this behavior to get yourself some more space, some more breathing room, and some more time in order to make something of yourself. And I'm going to explain very quickly what they are. The first is that you need to spend 30 days in a moratorium. The moratorium is you are not going to do a single thing for a single other person. This is your no mode. This is where you say, no, I'm no longer going to be helping you. I'm not helping you move. I'm not helping you with your homework. I'm not going to be giving you money. I'm not going to give you a ride somewhere. Okay? You're going to feel like a complete and total asshole for the first 7 days. In fact, you're probably going to feel like a complete and total asshole for the first 30 days. All right? But what's going to happen? If you make sure that this is a complete and total moratorium for everyone, family, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, telling them no is going to begin to train them that you are cutting those chains off of you. You are no longer going to be allowing them to control every part of you. In fact, they've seen you as a tool for this long. It's important to take your power back, and sometimes to take it back, you have to rip it out of their hand. This is going to be painful at first. There's going to be people who accuse you of being selfish. They're going to accuse you of not caring about them, never loving them.
You never loved me. Never. You're not getting away with it. We have a contract. I'll take your baby.
But you need to remember that for the past months or years, even decades, that you've been providing everything for them and getting nothing in return. Now you might say, how do I know that I'm not being selfish? How do I know that I'm not actually being a taker and not a giver? The fact that you feel like you have only given and not taken is enough of a sign to show that you have been getting taken advantage of. This is where you're going to find your power. However, at the end of this 30 days, I promise you that you're going to feel a lot better. In fact, you're probably going to feel like you never want to go back to that person that you were. The second thing that you can do is begin asking for favors from people. The thing is that if you were a giver or a golden child or someone who is used to being taken advantage of, you're really going to be afraid to ask anyone for anything. And this really manifests in your life in some terrible ways. You never want to ask for advice. You never want to ask for help because you're afraid that people only see you as useful for the benefit that you provide them. You don't think twice about it when people ask you for things, but you are scared to ask them for things. Well, how do we fix this? The answer is pretty simple. I want you to ask for one new thing every single day for 30 days.
Daddy, I want another pony.
So this is in addition to the moratorium, you are going to be asking people for stuff. So ask for a muffin, ask for a piece of pizza, ask for someone to do something for you. It can be as small as them getting you a drink of water. It could be as big as them giving you a ride or giving you a car. People are going to say no most of the time, but by the end of the 30 days, I promise you that you're going to be shocked at how many people said yes. In fact, you're going to be even more shocked when you find out that more people like you more because they said yes to you. People psychologically like someone that they do things for. If there is someone who never asks for anything and only provides for them, everyone psychologically will see that person as weak and as disposable. So the way that you can take your power back is begin asking for things back. And get this, if someone refuses to do anything for you, and if they get offended when you ask them for something, cut them out of your life. It's done. Because all that they've been doing is taking advantage of you. All they want to do is continue to take advantage of you. And now they're shocked that you're asking for something back. A little bit like if your cat suddenly stood up and told you that he wants you to play Xbox, he wants you to get off the game, right? How are you going to feel? You'd be shocked. You'd probably be annoyed. You'd be like, no, this is my cat that I pet and pick up and watch movies with. This is not my cat who kicks me off the PlayStation because he wants to play FIFA. The third and final thing that you can do to ensure that you are getting more out of the relationships in your life than you're giving is to go ghost mode for 3 days. Now, I'm not saying to worry people, but stop responding to messages. Because if you're a giver and if you spend all of your time helping other people, then realistically, you're going to have spent so much of your time and energy answering messages where people are asking things from you. So try this. For 3 days, I want you to answer no messages except those that are curious about your well-being. Like the last thing you want is the police knocking on your door for a wellness check, right? But if someone's asking you a question, you need to learn that it's okay to ignore them. Because the thing is that if you're a giver, most of the messages in your phone or on Facebook or on Instagram are people asking you for things, or at the very least, they're demanding your attention. They need to understand that you are taking that power back and that your attention is a gift that you give someone. It is not something that can be demanded, and it is not something that is owed to anyone else. Now, this is going to do something very subtle and very powerful. This is going to immediately tell people that they are not entitled to your energy. What happens? Some people are going to be offended, for sure. Oh, you're too good to talk to me? What's wrong? What's the matter? I thought we were friends. This guilt tripping is trying to bring you back under heel, to try and subjugate you again. It's very important that you don't let this get to you. At the end of those 3 days, you can go back to responding to people, but I promise you that if after 72 hours of realizing that the world won't end if you don't answer someone, then your body is going to be in a much more relaxed state. Cortisol levels are going to fall, and you're going to feel much stronger, much more self-possessed, knowing that you don't have to be at everyone's beck and call. Their phones are not a remote control to make you jump. Their phones are a way of requesting something from you, of petitioning you like you're a god at the top of Olympus and they're someone at the very bottom of the mountain sacrificing a goat. That is how communication to you should be viewed. The most important thing that you can remember is that people are not owed any of your labor. What you need to remember through these exercises is that people are not owed any of your labor. They're not owed your energy, your money, your finances. There are so many times where people are going to just call you up if you're a giver and say something like, oh, can you help me move this weekend? I know you have a truck. You don't want to move. You work 10 hours a day, you're tired, and you're really expecting to just sleep in on Saturday and go drinking, get brunch maybe. The biggest thing you need to remember is that over this process, you are going to lose 0 friends. Now, I'm not saying that no one's going to leave your life, but you are going to lose no friends that are genuinely interested in you as a person. What you will lose, though, are friends. They are people that are only interested in taking things from you and have 0 interest in who you are as a person. Those people are not friends. They're not even people. They're vampires, okay? They just want to suck you dry, not in the fun way, and take everything from you. So the important thing to remember is that this is going to be a short and painful process, transitioning yourself free of the people around you. At the end of this 30-day process, you are going to find yourself with much more free time, much more energy, and the power and freedom to devote to the processes that are going to make you wealthier and happier in your life. You're no longer going to find yourself bound to fake social obligations or people who are only interested in using you instead of who you are as a person. And when you lose friends, the most important thing to remember is that an opening in your life is always filled by someone. And with your higher standards, it will be filled by someone better. I hope this helped. If this did, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you disagree, and I'll try to be back tomorrow.